Hi guys, leo nitaongea Kiswahili niwapeleke through manual onboarding in ispman. So we do onboarding to MikroTiks and starting with MikroTiks that are 951 and above. So leo tunaifanya manually, so this is what we call manual onboarding. So the moment you log in kwa ispman, you see this dashboard. So you go to devices, you see this devices, you click devices and then you have to add the device. So hapa unaandika name ya device, unaweza yoyote, unaweza hata location ya device, but hiyo jina inafaa kusaidia kujua. So for example kama hii RB5009-Isli, you see, so itakwambia hii ni 5009 ya wapi, ya Isli. And then hapa location unaweka penye hiyo device itakuwa sasa, which is Isli. Then you create the device. You wait and then you will see this device created successful. So utaklik hii device, let me expand this, you click this. So utaklik hii device yenye ume add size, unaiclick. So ukiclick tunaifanya manual, so usidownload script, hii ni manual sasa. Now you have to go to more and then you start manual onboarding. Una click and then you click next, you'll see something like this. Ukishafika hapa achana na hiyo. Sasa tuende wapi? Tuende kwa Winbox. Kwa Winbox I hope umesha login ndani, umeaccess your Winbox, inakaa kitu kama hivi. So you go to logs ndio uone kitu yenye inaendelea and then you click terminal. So hapo ukiona kitu kama hii unafinya no, in case ikulete to enter your new password, you just enter the password and then you repeat the password, itakulodia kitu kama hii. So ukifika hapa you're good to go. You just go to the dashboard, you click one config, you copy and then you go to the Winbox, unaipaste, unamaliza, unaenda kwa dashboard, unaenda to the next step which is number 1, WireGuard, you copy, unaenda kwa Winbox, unaipaste, unaenda back kwa dashboard, you go to the number 2 which is bridge configuration, you go to Winbox, on the terminal you paste, you go back to the dashboard, you go to the next step which is user API, you go back to the terminal, you paste. So unarudia your process until ufike mwisho. So ukifika number 3 unaruka number OS, unaruka wireless config, unaenda kwa radius. So una copy radius, you go to the Winbox terminal, you paste, and then after radius unaenda kwa PPPoE access list, you add those rules for the firewall, you paste on the terminal. After that now you complete the system manual onboarding. You just copy this and then you go to the terminal and then you paste. After that you go back to the dashboard and then you complete manual onboarding. Now you wait, ukiona ina load hivi sana, unaenda back to the Winbox, you go to IPs and then you go to services and then you enable this SSH. After enabling, you go to the SSH telnet, you disable. So you enable www-SSL and then you disable SSH and telnet. Now when you see these 3 errors, that means ispman has been fully onboarded to your account. Now when you refresh, you will see everything in details. You see, inakupea details zote, so connected to VPN. After that you have to create the hotspot, you have to create the PPPoE and everything will be fine. So ukiangalia kwa bridge, everything is already bridged. So what you have to do is just create the hotspot and you create the PPPoE and then you plug and play. That's it.